Hi there, and welcome to Community Conversations at the Saugatuck Center for the Arts. I'm Kristen Armstrong, and I'm the Executive Director here. And today I am very much looking forward to talking to our dear friend, Chef Christine Ferris. Chris, as many of you know, is owner, founder of the Farmhouse Deli, which is right here in our community. And she has a long, kind of storied past as well as obviously current right now in culinary arts in the community. And Chris does cooking classes and is deeply engaged in lots of ways, kind of across the community. Really looking forward to talking with her about how Farmhouse Deli has been kind of weathering the COVID shutdown, the situation, and I saw this morning a sign out front that says that Farmhouse is opening tomorrow on Friday, May 15th. So we'll get the scoop on that. Let's talk to Chris. Hey, good morning, Christine Ferris. Good to see
Good
you.
morning, Kristen. So nice to see you too.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite part of community conversations when we first see each other on the screen and we're like, oh, it's been 8 weeks. So hi there.
Yeah, this is a fantastic idea.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'll tell you what, it's always hard for me to believe this, but for anybody who doesn't know who you are or what Farmhouse Deli is, why don't you give us a quick introduction to yourself and the role you play there and what Farmhouse Deli does and is?
Oh, okay, great. Farmhouse Deli, we've been here 6 years already, and we are a farm to table deli, and most of the food is made from scratch. We do soups, salads, sandwiches. We have a juice bar, organic coffee. We do catering. But the key is that we're trying to make slow food, simple homemade food that tastes really good and is really healthy.
I think I would say simple homemade food that tastes so much better than the homemade food I ever make. Or,
Oh, I doubt that.
well, that's what we all love about Farmhouse Deli. Exactly. Okay, so that is a great overview, and I think well, let's talk first about gosh, COVID is obviously closed down restaurants, eateries, bars, everything, and Farmhouse Deli wears a lot of different hats in that area. So maybe tell us a little bit about how this whole wild last 8 or 10 weeks has been for you and the incredible Farmhouse staff that we all love.
Well, just like everyone else, it's just continuously unfolding, and it's kind of a day by day gathering of information to see what's going on. And in the beginning, it was extremely scary. I remember when we shut our doors, I had no idea if we'd be opening them up again. And after just a few days of having our doors shut, Chef Michael and I were thinking about it, and we just thought, it doesn't feel right to be shut. We need to be here for the community. And also, we are both chefs, and what chefs do when things are going sideways is we cook. Just like everyone, you do what you do. So we saw that we had thousands of dollars worth of food, in our walk-ins that we had to do something with, and we donated a lot of the food to families. And then with what was left, we decided we're just going to try to cook a little bit. We're going to put it online and see, how we can safely do this with just he and I in the building. And Christina was working remotely from home, and we set up an online program that was beyond anything we could imagine it, being. And it felt really good to be there for the community. But at the same time, those first few weeks were really overwhelming. And Michael and I were cooking, thousands of, orders over the course of a few weeks. And it was a lot of work, and it was overwhelming, but it kept us occupied and it kept the community fed. And so we don't regret doing that. But once we thought it through, how we could do it safely, we decided that it's time to open our doors back up. And that has given us a huge sense of relief. But in those early days, what really kept me going was the community base in Saugatuck and Douglas. It's really incredible. I know Margaret Balmer and I were talking on a daily basis and comparing information that we were gathering on how to move forward. And Kim Bale was reaching out to everyone and sending out emails and Ray Hippolyte organized a Zoom call with lots of people. And Ray, being the amazing Ray, it was like, okay, we've got this terrible thing happening. Where is the silver lining in it? And what can we do to reimagine the community? And the outpouring that came from people was really incredible and overwhelming. And I got to know the community a lot better. There are some really brilliant people in this community. And I think one of the silver linings that I noticed is we've got people thinking about how can we make this community more bulletproof, make it more than a tourist community, make it for the locals, make it sustainable year round for businesses. COVID is a huge blow to the community, but there are also floods going on, and the seasonality of the community, and what can we do to stabilize and balance the community a little bit. And Laura Flanagan she blew my mind with her vision for the community. And I think some really good things are going to come out of this. I know some really hard things are coming out of it as well. And, there's some businesses that might not make it, but I think everyone's trying to reach out and support each other and pull us all through. And that's been incredible to witness.
I totally agree. I think there's that great phrase, never waste a good crisis.
Yeah.
I think once we all kind of got over the initial, it's like when you swim in the lake and there's a rip tide current and you don't realize it till you kind of get, you get slammed under, and you literally initially are sort of like almost slightly concussed, and then you pop up and you take a breath and you realize, oh my gosh, if I can figure this out, like this is kind of exhilarating. Now, obviously don't really swim in the rip currents. Being a Lake Michigan girl, you know what I mean? I think
Right.
Once we all got out of the initial almost slightly concussed, I think you're right. There is an amazing, well, first of all, there's amazing resilience in this community. There's amazing innovation in this community. We are smack in the middle of the fruit belt, which means we're a group of hardworking people, innovative, and we're smack in the middle of the West Michigan design community, which means we got a lot of people who are always thinking creatively and out of the box.
Right.
And I also am hopeful that there are going to be some really good long-term things that come out of this too. So I'm glad you have that same kind of feeling of, okay, we got a lot of work ahead of us right now this summer. And now I don't want to say, and there may be some really positive things in the future for us too. Because I think you're right. Thinking about how we don't keep cutting the pie up into smaller pieces. Frankly, we need a bigger pie. Or as I said the other day, maybe we don't need a pie at all. Maybe we need tiramisu. I don't know. But the idea that we're chasing a 100-day community, I think we have to have a bigger vision because unfortunately, as COVID's shown us this summer, if you take that out of the equation, 100 days, then we're all sitting here saying, now what? So clearly we need a better, bigger solution, right? Because this one isn't big enough for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes we have to get shaken up to focus on something that is just kind of simmering under the surface. And this has definitely brought it to the surface.
Well,
hi, Cat.
Oh, I love it. Hey, Cat. What's the kitty's name?
That is Felix.
Great. Well, okay. I'm going to go back to your the spoiler alert that came earlier, which is when I drove in this morning. I thought I saw the sign out Farmhouse Deli opening tomorrow, Friday.
Yes.
I was like, what? So give us the scoop, Chef Ferris. What's going on tomorrow?
Well, I decided that I wasn't going to open my doors until we knew exactly what was going on and how
you might not be opening until October if that was the case, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's true. But, how could we safely open our doors? And so we being my whole staff, we've all been talking and collaborating on, how to do this safely. So we've come up with some social distancing protocol and some shields and talking to our purveyors. And oh my gosh, the farmers, going from full bore down to, a tenth of, production and then coming back up again has got to be really challenging. But we've got a hold of everyone. We've got all our ingredients coming in. Our bakers are back to work. It's really hard to run a sandwich shop when your bread baker isn't baking bread, you know? So, you know, we were dependent on some other businesses to be able to provide us what we need, and that's okay, you know? So everything's falling into alignment, and tomorrow we open our doors. We're gonna try to keep it as normal as possible. We're gonna be 9 to 6, just like before.
Yep.
7 days a week. We have online ordering. You can call in your order. We'll have curbside pickup, and we're thinking about maybe adding some delivery in, but we're not sure how that's going to work. But it's going to be, from a food point of view, business as usual. We'll have all the fresh baked goods every day, all the salads, you know, the homemade soups, the full menu. We're able to just move forward, and we're all really excited. And while we were closed, we took everything off the shelves and painted the shelves and took all our equipment apart and cleaned it all up and shined it up, and it looks better in there than it's ever looked. It's shiny and clean and organized, and we've got our beds out back planted. So
Wow.
really, really excited to see everyone.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, and I honestly think people, we're used to that. We get the social distancing. We're happy of it. People are, what I've just noticed, honestly, it just personally is, we are all more patient. And I think, honestly, I felt it, and I'll bet you have too. People just are really kind right now. Like, people are giving everybody wide berth, literally and metaphorically. So
Yes.
I'll bet you're going to have a lot of good vibes in that store tomorrow and going forward.
Yeah, I think so too. And that you're absolutely right. You know, getting our online program going had some hiccups, and there were only 3 of us doing it. And there were a few times where, you know, some mistakes were made, our counts were off, and people couldn't get what they ordered, and we had to do some substitutions. And normally that can be so scary, you know, anticipating people's reactions. But during this time, wow, everyone was nice. Everyone was nice. And I think it's going to continue. I think we're in a new era here, you know. We've got our priorities straight, and that's supporting each other, you know.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see the lines out the door at Farmhouse Deli as we're all standing in line, chatting with each other, happily, social distanced, waiting for our fresh salad at Farmhouse Deli. That's so exciting, Chris.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you there.
Thank you. Well, thank you for making time. It sounds like our best way of supporting you, Chef Michael, and your staff is to continue to order online. Come into the shop now as we're able to, starting tomorrow at 9 to 6, you said again? Our regular.
Correct. Yes. 7 days a week.
Wow. So, well, okay. Like I said, summer in West Michigan is coming. Like it or not, it's coming. So
Yes.
much as we all can be creative and take advantage of this gorgeous West Michigan summer, which will be here any day now. And so the fact that you guys are open 7 days a week, 9 to 6 means summer really is coming. That's very exciting. So we'll all be down there to see you and Chef Michael and your staff. And thank you for all you do to support farmers, to support the community, just to make this, to remind us all of what a bountiful, amazing place we live. And we know that in part because of what you and Michael do for the community, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. We feel the same way. You know, it's definitely a symbiotic relationship. And the one thing that I keep telling myself is you can't be in fear and faith at the same time. So in every moment you get to choose how you step forward.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing to leave us with. Thank you. All right, my friend. Great to see you.
You
Thank
too.
You for everything.
Bye.
Yep, bye-bye. What a great conversation with Chef Ferris from Farmhouse Deli. I'm glad you got the scoop. They are opening tomorrow, Friday, May 15th. And she said normal hours now, back to 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 days a week. And online ordering's continuing. So best way I think that we can all support Chris and Michael and their amazing staff is to continue to eat at Farmhouse Deli, which won't be difficult for any of us. And super delighted to hear that that restaurant community that is so amazing in Saugatuck Douglas is reaching out to support each other too. So glad to be with you today for Community Conversations. Stay tuned. More coming up at the Saugatuck Center for the Arts. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.